Hey guys,
Yeah.
welcome to the new Goal 90 podcast channel. My name is Emeka, and with me here is Ashim, and we're going to be talking to you guys about everything football, from the latest in terms of teams and players to all the theories that you probably would never have thought of about football. It's going to be an interesting fun ride. So if you want to stick with us, definitely do subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you can watch whenever this podcast comes out. All right, let's jump right in. Ashim, how are you? Let's start. How are you? Let's start soft.
Hi, Emeka. I'm so excited for this podcast. I had been waiting for so long, and now we are finally starting it. I can't wait to start with the topics that we have today. And what do you have for us today?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, we have really juicy topics, all right, to talk about today. So let's just jump right in, all right. And let's start with Tottenham. Tottenham is currently in crisis. The last 3 games, they've conceded 9 goals against English opposition, and it feels like they're getting whooped in their own schoolyard. It's honestly schoolboy
Oh
stuff.
my
3-0 to
God.
Chelsea, 3-0 to Crystal Palace, 3-1 to Arsenal. So, Ashim, what can you
Arsenal
tell
was
us?
a disaster.
Yeah, what can you tell us
Arsenal
about those
was
games?
a disaster. Okay, so everyone's talking about Nuno and like how he is actually gonna fit into this team. And people think that Nuno isn't as much experienced as he is. Looking at the predecessors, we had Mourinho and Pochettino, who served in Tottenham for past 5.5 seasons. So like people have high hopes, and Nuno, it's his first time managing such a big team. And according to what people think, there are doubters on Nuno, but I looked at the stats before this, and even when Mario Pochettino joined, the first in his first 6 games, they had only 8 points. He took
Wow.
time to adjust with the players. Yeah, he took time to adjust with the players, and even he took his time to understand players and then get to know them, and then also like teach them what he is thinking about the tactics. It takes time.
Yeah.
And this team isn't like a team with great players. Like, let's say, for as of now, we can take examples of Man City. If any other coach goes there and coaches as well, you'll get like
Great
top
success.
performance.
Great success. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? But I think people should still believe in Nuno, considering Harry Kane scored 3 goals in the past game. They won 5-1 in the championship. What was that? I'm not
In the
really sure.
Conference League.
Championship, right?
The UEFA Conference League.
Conference League, yeah. And in fact, even with Pochettino, the changing moment was their game against Aston Villa, and then they won 2-1 after Aston Villa, and then they had a good run after it. And then this coming Sunday, it's against Aston Villa, so all the Spurs fans are looking forward to this game. Let's see how it turns out to be.
Awesome. But the thing that we cannot shy away from the fact that Pochettino, when he came into Tottenham, he didn't have a high-flying Harry Kane. I mean, just look at Harry Kane from last season. Harry Kane got 23 goals and 14 assists. That's an incredible season for a number 9. He and Son were on fire at the beginning of last season, scoring goals for fun. So I just want to know, do you think that Tottenham made the right choice not selling Harry Kane? Because, for instance, if we look at Aston Villa, who they are playing in the weekend, Aston Villa got 100 million for Jack Grealish, and then immediately they took that 100 million and they went into the market and they bought Danny Ings, they bought Buendia, and they bought this other guy from Lille, I've forgotten his name now, who scored 2 goals, who scored and gave an assist when Leon Bailey came on.
Bailey.
Yeah, he came on in 2 games ago, gave an assist and he scored. So do you think that Tottenham was wise to reject the 150 million from Man City, or do you think they should have taken that money and invested it into the club, especially since a new coach was coming?
Okay, So
Yeah.
some critics are telling that Harry Kane was like you can see it from his body language that he isn't playing so well. He didn't want to be at this club, and then he was forced by Tottenham and whatnot. But looking forward to it as a player, I think he would still want to give his best. And
Definitely.
but for Tottenham, I think they could have definitely gotten some players with the amount of money they would have gotten in from Harry Kane, like how Aston Villa did. But I think Harry Kane is Harry Kane. Replacing Harry Kane won't be a easier task. Probably they will get one or two players. But I think keeping Harry Kane was a good decision because although looking forward, I think he'd be scoring a lot of goals moving on from now.
Are you sure? Because he has gone 5 matches in the Premier League this season, 0 goals, 0 assists.
I know.
But I mean, the form of Tottenham definitely would add to that. So I mean, we have to cut in some slack, definitely. But
Yeah.
personally,
I feel like
personally,
yeah. Tell me.
I really feel like they would have done a lot better if they had taken that money, because everyone can see that Harry Kane doesn't want to be there. Yeah, you can make the argument that as a professional, eventually he's going to come around, he's going to start scoring goals. But the reality of the matter is that he doesn't want to be at the club anymore. He has given his all for the club, and he wants to move on. And they would have done a lot better, I feel, if, especially because they were getting a new coach, they should have let Harry Kane go like early on in the summer, let him go to Manchester City, then give Nuno that money and say, okay, do what you want with the squad. Because another problem was they didn't give Nuno enough money. The only person that Nuno was able to bring in was Skipper, who they exchanged for Lamela. And, they're using Eric Dyer as a centre-back. Eric Dyer is not a centre-back. Eric Dyer is a defensive midfielder. So we can see the problems. Hugo Lloris is getting pretty old now. They don't have any backup keeper who is decent enough to challenge him for that position. And, the only type of business they could do in the summer was getting Son a new deal. You feel like when you bring a new coach in, you definitely want to give that coach money to get the players who he wants to play the philosophy that he wants to play. But Nuno couldn't get anything because they just so desperately wanted to keep Harry Kane. So I feel like in the short term, it might be a good decision. It might save them this season. But then if you're talking long term, like rebuilding the squad, Harry Kane is still going to leave. And I feel like they would have done a lot better with a new manager to just take that money and just like rebuild from the beginning. But I mean, just my opinion, definitely Nuno knows why he kept it.
I do definitely agree with that as well. Considering even some games that we see, it's the whole team. We cannot just put blame on Harry Kane. Like one of the matches, he wasn't even able to take a shot from inside the box. Like I think he didn't even receive the ball inside the box. So I think, what you are saying is totally correct. That would have definitely added value to the team, and they could have gotten, good players and probably gotten more balls into the box for another striker, probably. Yeah.
Because right now, Harry Kane has absolutely no service. He can't even play as a number 10 because, like you said, he has no balls in the box for him. And it's only Son that gives him the ball. And right now, it feels like Son is going more for goals than, providing for Harry Kane. And players like Ndombele, players like Dele Alli, they're not good enough,
Yeah. In Premier League, they're just not. They're not having a good time right now.
Exactly. I mean, 9 goals in 3 games.
It's a tough time. It's a tough time for them. But I really hope Son gets back. Like I mean, we don't even see the Son that we saw last season. Remember the combination they had, Son and Harry Kane. My goodness, I had both of them in my FPL team, and they would give me points every single week.
Yeah, man, that was a cheat for FPL last season.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we should move on to the next topic. I really hope well for Tottenham, but let's move on to Leicester City for now. What do you think of them?
Oh, Leicester City. This one, Leicester City. The problem with Leicester City is actually very personal to me because Kelechi Iheanacho is like a brother to me. We're from the same place. He's Igbo and I'm Igbo also. Yeah. And so it's kind of like a personal, I have a personal vendetta against Brendan Rodgers because Kelechi Iheanacho finished last season as Leicester's highest goal scorer. I know this might shock you, but he actually scored more goals than Jamie Vardy last season. And for the first half of the season, he never played. He only played at the ending part of the season. The fact that they're in the Europa right now is because of Kelechi Iheanacho. The fact that they won the Community Shield, he came on, he scored the penalty against Manchester City is because of Kelechi Iheanacho. The fact that he beat Norwich City, he came in and he assisted the winner against Norwich City. He did it again at the weekend. They were losing 2-1. He came in, he gave the assist for Jamie Vardy, 2-2. They finished the game with 1 point. But still, Brendan Rodgers just doesn't start him. Like, what else does he have to do to show?
What is his problem?
Yeah, like, what else does he have to do to show Brendan Rodgers that he deserves a start? Like, at some point last season, he was everybody's FPL champion. You know, everyone was calling him Senior Man Kells. Like, it was so crazy what he was doing for the team. And then you just start this season and he's just on the bench every single game. And it's not like the attacking players of Leicester City are any good. Tielemans is suffering an injury right now. James Maddison is not being productive. He has 0 goals, 0 assists this season. You look at the likes of Albrighton. Not a very good crosser of the ball. And you can play Jamie Vardy and Iheanacho together. It's not like it's either one or the other because both of them played at the end of last season and it worked well. So, like, my question
it worked really well.
Yeah. So my question to Brendan Rodgers is, why are you not starting Kelechi Iheanacho? You look at where Leicester City is on the table right now. They are 13th on the Premier League table. 13th. And everybody's talking about, Arsenal. Arsenal are actually picking up the pace. And in fact, I think they are above Leicester City right now. And Leicester City is 13th on the table and they've lost and drawn their first 2 matches in the Europa League. They might not finish out of that group. They most likely will not survive that Europa League group. And I'm like, how can a coach be so stubborn? Like, how? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how can you be so stubborn? It's not like they are currently last in their Europa League table. They're last. The likes of Liga Warsaw. Like, have you ever heard of that team before? Like, no. I've never heard of that team before. They lost to that team just yesterday. And I'm like, how stubborn can you be? Like, what can a player really do? Even if he was, let's say he came late for training or something, personal issues. How stubborn can you be? Somebody who is giving you returns and you just keep him on the bench and your team is suffering as a result.
Exactly. Exactly. Does he even have, like, I haven't heard of any news as such. Like, has he ever had any personal issues with him?
I haven't heard.
For example, Ricky Puig and Koeman. Remember, now he is forced to play him, but I haven't heard of any news as such.
Yeah.
So I think it's just he just is sticking to his own formations and plays and tactics, but it's not really looking good for him, is it?
Yeah, at all. So yeah, moving on from Leicester, I was a bit emotional there because it's quite a personal thing to me because Kelechi Iheanacho, the African Cup of Nations are coming up in January, and we Nigerians, we really want him to be in top form to play for us at the tournament. Our other striker, Victor Osimhen of Napoli, he's scoring goals for fun in the Italian league, and we want Iheanacho to be at that level too. But like Brendan Rodgers is just like killing our vibe. So yeah. So I mean, I really hope that things do not turn around for Leicester unless he starts playing Kelechi. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be forced. Now we are moving into game week 10, and you know, if in case Leicester are the top teams right now, like they are not supposed to be on the 13th position.
Yeah, definitely.
So people expect either it's him or it's Iheanacho, like
exactly.
So it's up to him to decide whether it's his career or he doesn't play the Nigerian. I mean, let's see what happens.
Exactly. Okay. Moving on to the next topic. This one is quite a controversial one. Cristiano Ronaldo or Bruno Fernandes? Who do you think should be taking Manchester United's penalty? First of all, the GOAT does it again. I saw one tweet that said, you never write off Cristiano Ronaldo until the 90th minute, and you never write off Lionel Messi at the beginning of the season. Those men are GOATs. Honestly, did you see the finish that he had against Villarreal? Like 9 minutes. And who do you see? Once again, Cristiano Ronaldo. So, like, it just begs the question. At this point, should Bruno still be taking the penalties at Manchester United?
I mean, for me personally, like that day, I really was questioning why Bruno is holding the ball at the first place, because it seemed so rude. Like Messi and Ronaldo, they are greatest of all times.
Yeah.
Like forget Maradona, forget Pele. They have survived everything constantly for 16 years. And like look at Ronaldo, how he looks today.
Man.
He scored the last minute goal. And I think I know you should be like also giving it a chance to the younger generation, because Bruno is the future of United. But I don't think so. When Ronaldo or Messi are there in the team, you should just hand over the ball to them, because at this point of time, first of all, Manchester United are competing for Premier League after a very long time, and then looking at how he actually shot that penalty upwards, he was under very high pressure. So I think Ole should have first of all talked to the players and then decided that Ronaldo should be taking the penalty, considering his experience, what he gets into the team, and at that moment of time, Bruno, if he was so nervous, I think he should have just given the ball to Ronaldo, considering he was just right there behind him, because he didn't even take his normal penalty. You know how Bruno takes his penalty?
Yeah, the hop, skip, and jump.
Jumps, shoots. Yeah, but it wasn't that. So I think it should have been outright Ronaldo, and I think the blame goes to Sousa for this. But what do you think of this?
Sousa was actually asked after the game, and he said that he was the one that made the decision that Bruno is the penalty taker and blah blah blah, all of that. Personally, I feel like that particular penalty miss was all down to Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez is such the Aston Villa goalkeeper. He's such a mentality beast. If you go watch it back, you would see that as the penalty was being he went and he told Ronaldo that I want you to take the penalty. He was pointing at Ronaldo, I want you to take the penalty. And I feel like that just got into Bruno's head. So he kind of like wanted to show a certain level of aggression against the keeper. Like that's why he didn't do his normal hop, skip and jump and just place it. That's why he wanted to go for that shot. I feel like he wanted to embarrass Emi Martinez, and in the end he just ended up embarrassing himself. That is why I feel like Cristiano Ronaldo should be taking the penalties, because I feel like no matter what, Cristiano Ronaldo's mind is in the game. He doesn't get beaten by mind games. He's the king of mind games. He's the type of person who would go to Atletico Madrid stadium and tell them to keep quiet, and then go to Turin and score a hat-trick to knock them out of the Champions League. That is who Cristiano is. And I feel like, yeah, like you said, Bruno is definitely the future, but the future can't wait. The reality of Manchester United is that they've been trophyless for 4 seasons. If they go trophyless this season, they're already out of the Carabao Cup. So now they just have the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League. And if they go trophyless again this season, I mean, that's going to be a big shout, against Solskjaer. So I feel like Solskjaer should definitely like keep his principles or whatever aside and just give Ronaldo the penalties. You can make an argument that Bruno has a higher conversion rate. I think Bruno's conversion rate is about 93% and Ronaldo is about 83%. But the reality is Ronaldo has played like 3 times more penalties. So like those statistics don't really match up. And Ronaldo has taken a lot of pressure penalties. We're talking about dying minutes winning penalties. We're talking about penalty shootouts. Things like that where like the weight of the world is on his shoulders and he just buries it like it's nothing,
Exactly.
And I feel like definitely if they want success right now, they definitely need to be giving Ronaldo the penalties. They just need to be giving Ronaldo the penalties.
I completely agree with that. I mean, even Ronaldo could have missed at that point, but but he has proved himself like over and over again.
Definitely.
Like it was in the World Cup or the Euros, the free kick against Spain, where he
man,
scored a
for his hat
hat-trick.
trick. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like those type of pressure times, you just give it to Ronaldo.
Exactly.
You know that Ronaldo is going to turn up. You know, so you just give it to him. That's why
De Gea was just left standing over there. He just watched it go like this, like.
Yeah, man. Like,
so
definitely, I feel like definitely you give it to Ronaldo right now. Speaking of the Manchester United win against Villarreal, that actually highlights something that I noticed in this round of Champions League fixtures. You know, Chelsea lost to Juventus 1-0, which you can say was not one of their best performances. And Manchester City lost to PSG, of course, Leo Messi. What can we say? But you look at Liverpool beat Porto 5-1. And then you look at Barcelona and Real Madrid, and particularly the teams that they lost to. Real Madrid lost to a team who is the only team from their country, you know, Sheriff, a team a team that Coit said does not belong in the Champions League, beat the people who have won the Champions League the most in their own house. That's the crazy thing. It was not back in Moldova. It was in Spain. And Benfica disgracing the Catalonians 3-0. You just have to ask, like, are the tides turning towards the Premier League teams? Do you feel like the La Liga teams are becoming worse off than the Premier League teams? Because in the past decade, apart from like the last 3 seasons, definitely during the Messi and Ronaldo era, it was definitely the La Liga teams. The La Liga teams were winning it. I mean, Madrid won it 3 times. Barcelona won it, I think, twice. You know, they were dominating. And the Premier League teams were nowhere near. Do you think that that is flipping now, and teams like Liverpool and Man City and Man U and Chelsea are now becoming bigger, more fearsome opponents than Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid? What do you think?
I mean, if we are to look at it, a huge respect to Sheriff and Benfica for like beating their big opponents. You know, they have been dominating Champions League for the past 10 years. I mean, for Barcelona, I think me being a Barcelona fan, I have to be personal on this.
Definitely.
Like, I am really, like, it's like a circle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we do bad, and then like we do good one match, and then like we have a little bit of hope, and then again we slide down again.
Yeah.
So and we didn't expect so much from Barcelona this season, but some decision Koeman's been taking has been a little bit of very questionable things that he has been doing. Like, for example, Luke de Jong.
Man,
I mean,
why? Like, when I saw the transfer, I was just like, why? What exactly does a bench reserve for Sevilla have to offer Barcelona?
And did you watch that match against Benfica?
Yeah, I did.
He missed two on one with the keepers.
Yeah.
And you can't be standing there as a Barcelona player. Braithwaite would have finished that.
Definitely.
Buried at least one. Like, and on top of that, let's say what I don't see happening is Luke de Jong is not a Barcelona type player. He is good with headers.
Yeah.
He's slow on the ball. What we need is someone who is way more quicker, plays right through the center, like burst with the ball. But Luke de Jong is not that, and that's why everyone's questioning Koeman. Like, is he looking at the future of Barcelona, or he just wants a short-term wins? Like, if we were to look at Lampard, like, he couldn't be a good coach, but he did bring all the required players. Like, he looked at the future, like, what does Chelsea want? So
Yeah.
I think Koeman should be looking at what this should be, what kind of players he should be getting, so that like the future of Barca is good, since he is also a Barcelona legend. And then about Real Madrid and Barcelona, I mean, once Ronaldo and Messi left, I think we both our teams were dependent totally on Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. If I mean, we would disagree at some point of time, but that's the real truth, and it's quite evident right now.
Yeah,
Real Madrid have been winning a little bit of games because now they are used to playing without Cristiano Ronaldo for a while.
exactly.
But like Barca, we are still healing. We still, some of our fans are still crying. They are like, we still can't believe Messi has left already, and uh, so and plus the injuries and stuff is what is holding Barca behind. But I have to agree on this. Along with the movement of Cristiano and Messi to the outside clubs, uh, the revenue is less.
Yeah,
Lesser people watch La Liga now, so the generation of money is less, and then so that way I think even the revenue is less. So it is definitely dying. We can completely see Premier League teams are on top of the league. Even last season, Chelsea and Manchester City were in the finals of Champions League, uh, and Bayern keeps beating Barcelona as always. Yeah, so I mean, Spanish leagues, it's a tough time for them. But hopefully, looking at the history, they'll get back somewhere up there. But it's a tide that is already turned, and then we can't get it back.
mm, mm. Honestly, I feel like La Liga, like you said, La Liga has been bleeding players for a while now, and nothing was really being done about it. I think Neymar was the first big name to leave, and then Ronaldo, and then Messi, and then Sergio Ramos, and then a lot of players, a lot of big names are just leaving and like you said, that's definitely affected the revenue because if you check how much was spent during the summer, like Spanish teams spent the least. It felt like they spent absolutely no money at all. So there was no strengthening of teams. It was just like the same players from last season with a lot of young stars. Meanwhile, you have Arsenal spending over £100 million, on players in the summer. But you have people like Real Madrid and Barcelona can't even spend up to 10 million. I mean, Barcelona was so broke that they couldn't pay Leo Messi. They couldn't even pay him half of his wages. So like, it's really that bad. And I feel like definitely Premier League teams are on the rise because the 2019 Champions League final, 2 English teams. The 2021 Champions League final, 2 English teams. And at some point, and the 2020 Champions League final, no Spanish team. It was a French team and a German team. And, I feel like the La Liga has to look inwards and really ask themselves, like, what is truly going on? Who can rise up to that plate and become the next Messi, become the next Ronaldo? We know that it's definitely not going to be easy, but looking into the future, definitely, I feel like the likes of Mbappe and Haaland, for instance, if Haaland goes to Barcelona and Mbappe goes to Real Madrid,
Barcelona.
I mean, we won't be having this conversation anymore. So, like, the tides in football can switch, like, really easily. So, like, even though we're saying right now that the English teams are on
Exactly.
top, anything can change within the next season or two. And, I just want to focus on Barcelona and Ronald Koeman for a bit here, especially because, like you said, you're a Barcelona fan. And do you feel like, I know Ronald Koeman is bad, I know he has done a lot of bad things, but do you feel like probably we are expecting too much of Barcelona because of everything that's going on at the club? First of all, Leo Messi just left. Like you said, the players are still going to be healing from those wounds. And then you have the likes of Ansu Fati, who is just coming back from injury. You have Dembele, who is injured. You have Sergio Aguero, who's injured. You guys don't have a left back right now. Serginho Dest has to play on the left. And, there are just a lot of these injuries at the club. And then, the problems with the financial problems and everything that's just going on around the club. Do you feel like people are expecting too much of Barcelona because of their name and not really like giving them the benefit of the doubt because of like what they're going through right now, basically?
Okay. Personally, I'm pretty sure my opinion would be biased as well.
Definitely.
But yeah. I expect Barcelona to do good no matter how bad they are. But yeah, we are in a tough situation. But if we are to look at the team, we do have good players. Like, we have Busquets, who controlled the whole Spain team so well during the Euros. We have Frankie de Jong. We have uh, Nico, who is good. And like moving forward, we just got Memphis Depay, and then we have Fati, we have uh let's say. So what I don't like, definitely we are not the best of teams, but
Yeah.
I can assure you that like what we should be focusing right now is more on defense. And what Koeman keeps looking forward to is like buying attackers, is what is questioning us, the Barca fans. Like, if you were to look at the Bayern Munich versus Barca match in Champions League,
Yeah.
the right back Sergio Roberto, like I know he is a legend for us. He has played really well, but he just couldn't stand a chance in front of Alphonso Davies.
Yeah.
So like what we should be investing is on our defense. Looking at even the Benfica game, like we conceded 3 with a team like which is not, we should not be conceding 3 goals with Benfica, like. So I think we are just questioning his choices. Like, let's say for example Ricky Puig, like we know the guy can play
Yeah,
well, and
definitely.
like you get him off, yeah, after 70 minutes, and then you expect him to play well under such a pressure where like you have your personal issues with him, and then like he does a simple mistake and then you just don't play him for next 3-4 matches. Like, so that's where it's very like we need to question Koeman at that point of time.
Yeah. I feel like the situation with
So
Ricky Puig and Kelechi Iheanacho are quite similar in the sense of like
yeah,
they didn't really do anything wrong, but like the coaches just don't like them, don't like playing them. It's quite sad actually. But yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Like, apart, like even with the injured players, like the team should still be good enough to get some performances. I mean, like I was talking to my brother about it. He's also a Barca fan, and he was saying that even if we don't have people to score goals, we shouldn't be conceding 3 against Benfica.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think
exactly my point.
I understand that completely. Like, you can always play 0-0, you can always lose 1-0, but like losing 3-0, that's terrible. But yeah, I completely
Yeah,
understand
and
that.
3-0 to Bayern is fine.
Yeah.
3-0 to Manchester City is fine. Like Benfica, no.
Yeah.
Like we can't accept that. Come on.
Yeah, I get
So
that. All right. That's about all we have time for today. Thank you very much for chatting with me, Ashim. You guys, if you've enjoyed this podcast, do let us know by hitting the like button.